Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Neema and this is Here is Neema, where we talk about all things lifestyle, beauty, fashion, feminine essence, feminine energy, self-development, simple luxuries, and so much more. So if any of that is up your alley, definitely make sure to like and subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about how to become your own best friend. And as the saying says, when a woman is her own best friend, life is easier. And what can I say? I totally agree with that. With that being said, I think as a friend, of course, you're going to, especially when you're with your friends, you're going to also consider them. You're also going to consider their feelings, etc., etc. But when it comes to being your own best friend, you have to always be able to consider yours as well and put that first to an extent, you know? So anyways, this video is not about how to be a good friend. This video is about how to become your own best friend. So I think kind of understanding that underlying thing of, you know, a lot of times friends are there for a season of your life. You know, you may resonate with them. You may relate to each other really well in one season of your life. And then things change or something happens or, you know, you change or they change or, you know, a life event occurs. Or whatever, and the friendship changes as a result, and it's okay, it's natural, it's perfectly normal, it's fine, but that's going to change the nature of the friendship. So I think, you know, a lot of people are kind of a little bit like, I think a lot of people are not comfortable with the idea of not having a lot of friends, or not having friends, period. And kind of being in this space where you don't have a whole lot of friends around you. It's not like you can text up a group chat and be like, hey, what's the plans this weekend? You know, I think in high school and maybe in college, things were like that a lot more. I know at least for me, I had a lot more friends that I considered to be like close in high school and in college, but in young adulthood, I am seeing that, you know, I'm having less friends, but, you know, it's actually better. I don't want a whole bunch of, quote unquote friends around me that are not true friends or real friends or people that I consider to really, really be genuine or, even, you know, that want to be the type of friends that I am looking for. You know, I'm somebody that I feel that I'm a very intentional and genuine person and friend. So if I'm choosing to be your friend, like that means something to me. So, you know, I think that these days things are really, friendships have become so surface level, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people are kind of looking at friends like, oh, you know, this is like, we go out together, we party together, and it's for the gram, and, you know, we're just going to take pictures, and we're going to post up, and, you know, they're my friend. But that's not really, I mean, that's like such a surface level friendship. And I guess I'm at this point where I've phased out of that. And so I've had to kind of, even though I'm somebody who I've always enjoyed my own company, even though I've always had friends and I've always had, you know, a couple of best friends, different, you know, throughout different phases of my life, people that I've been close to and things like that, I've always kind of been the type of person where I've been comfortable enough with kind of just being alone and being my own, being in my own company and being able to do things alone. So, you know, I think that's really benefited me. And now as I've kind of gotten into this season of life in my young adulthood, you know, post-college, things have happened. I've had to really, you know, kind of explore being my own best friend a lot more in a different way, you know. And this is not to say that I don't have any friends. I do have friends, but I don't overly rely on them. You know, I truly do consider myself to be my own best friend, and that means that I don't need to seek anybody else's approval for my lifestyle choices and my decisions and things that I am doing in my life. You know, I consult with me and I consult with God, and you know, that's pretty much it on that. But my friends are there. They're there to support me. We have good fun together. We go out, we have fun, we do things, and that's what friends are good for. And I am grateful for that. But at the same time, I'm also able to do those things for myself. A couple of the things I love to do, and I would consider that if you're kind of in this space where you're kind of trying to just feel more comfortable and more content in, being in your own company and being your own best friend, and not letting the fact that you may not have other people in your life to do certain things with hold you back from doing the things that you want to do, is to get comfortable doing things alone. Get comfortable going places alone, going to the places you want to go to, whether that be a new coffee shop or a museum or a new restaurant or your favorite restaurant, or, going to the movies alone. I love going to the movies alone. I think that's a perfect place to have a solo date. Just you, yourself, and you. Eat your favorite little meal, have your little drink, watch whatever movie you want to watch. You don't have to compromise with anybody. See? Yeah. That just was for emphasis. But you don't have to compromise with anyone. That's like a perfect solo date, I think. Another thing that I really want to do is I really want to go on a solo picnic. I think that would be really, really fun, especially now that the weather's getting cooler. It's October, middle of October here in NC. Today was the perfect fall day. It wasn't hot. Like my shirt is like a 3/4 length sleeve shirt. Of course, it's like this nice October burnt orange, matching my nails. You see, I'm like all Octobered out. But today was the perfect fall day. I feel like today would have been a really good day to go to a park where there's nice open grassy fields and, just lay out a blanket, bring my book, get a little takeout, have some champagne, and just enjoy the day, enjoy my own company, read my book, be in my own thoughts, not necessarily like hop on social media, because you feel like bored, but actually be in your own thoughts, be in your own head, think of ideas, bring a little notebook, journal some things down, jot some ideas down if you've got any, which you will, and, just enjoy your own company and enjoy that time. A lot of people, wish that they could do that, and they may not have the availability to do that, especially if you're like me. If you're anything like me and you're single, you don't have any children, a lot of people that are not in our position, they don't have the free time to be able to enjoy their own company. So I say in this season of life, take full advantage, be able to go out and do things alone. Even solo traveling, if you can't get any of your girlfriends to get on board with going on a certain trip with you, figure out how to do it alone. Women are doing it all over the world every single day. So there's pretty much no reason why you can't. And I have solo traveled, as you guys know. I lived abroad for, over a year in South Korea. And while I was there, I did a lot of solo traveling. I had no choice. That was the first time in my life where, even before then, in college, I would do things alone. I never had an issue, with being with myself and in my own company. I would shop alone, I would go to the movies alone. I used to like going on drives. I still like doing that, just listening to my music, being in my own thoughts, etc. But when I was overseas, that was like a really different experience because I was forced to kind of be able to do things alone. If I waited for friends to go with me, I wouldn't be able to pretty much do much. I was going on the bus alone. I was going on trains alone. I was going to restaurants alone. And of course, I also went with friends, but I actually enjoyed kind of just that freedom of just kind of being out and about and seeing where the wind takes me. Maybe I'll try a new restaurant today, or maybe I'll go and stumble upon a new little shop or a new coffee shop because, coffee shops are like such a thing, and I love coffee shops. And in Korea, there's like a coffee shop in every corner. And even just going to my favorite little places, where they know me, and things like that. So, that's something that I really cherished about my time over there that I brought back with me. That's kind of something that I never really left behind and I never forgot. And I adapted it into, my lifestyle and just who I am. And I feel like this is such a powerful thing, because if you can master being your own best friend and not needing anybody else, to co-sign on the things that you want to do, you're pretty much unstoppable. You're pretty much fearless. You pretty much can do it all. And you don't need anybody's yes. You don't need anybody's approval. You don't need to have somebody by your side in order to do certain things. And, I talk about this a lot on my channel. And even though we discuss femininity and feminine essence and all of these things, and there's this whole kind of, I guess, a little bit of a dichotomy with this whole idea of being an independent woman, and the femininity, I guess, if you want to call it a revolution, if you want to call it a movement. I kind of think of it as a returning to who we naturally are as women. But, a lot of people kind of talk about being independent as being a bad thing, or, kind of being pushed too far. And to a certain extent, I do agree. I do agree that, as far as it goes, being in a relationship, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you shouldn't have to be independent, because that's not what the word independent even means. Okay. But if you are a woman and you are single and you are living your life, and even if you're not single, you're still a person, you're still an individual, you still have, desires, and you still have dreams, and you still have things that you want to pursue. And even as a married woman, even as a woman in a relationship, as a single woman, it doesn't matter. As a woman with kids, it doesn't matter. You're gonna be confronted with the very real fact that not everybody's gonna be on board to join you with whatever it is you think you want to do. So then what? Then what? Do you give up? Do you let go? I feel like you shouldn't have to. There's always a way. There's always a way. And I don't know. I just feel like embracing this whole idea of being your own best friend, and truly just having that comfort and that confidence to be able to just do things on your own, is life-changing. It's literally life-changing. It's changed my life, Not to say that there's some things that I wouldn't do alone, okay? Like going to the club. Like, I'm not going to go to the club by myself on a Saturday night. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm probably not going to sit at a table at a restaurant by myself, like a table. Like, usually when I go out by myself, I do love to go out to eat alone. Occasionally, I'll usually go on a weeknight. I'm probably not going to go on a Saturday night. I'll go on a weeknight and I'll sit at the bar. I'll sit at the bar alone, and I feel like that's perfectly okay, and that's perfectly, a lot of people actually do that. If you ever try it for yourself, or the next time you go out, just take a look. A lot of people actually do it, and it's fun. You meet people, and you get to know, even if it's just your bartender that you're talking to, you get to know people, you get to make connections, you get free things sometimes, if you know what I mean. And, it's fun. It's fun. It's something that you can do. Practice your people skills. Practice just being okay being alone. There's nothing wrong with it. And I feel like if you do certain things in an appropriate way, of course, like I mentioned, going to the club alone is a little bit much. But, there's a lot of things that you can do by yourself that are going to be really empowering, and, just make you feel good, and make you feel like, yeah, I am competent, I am capable, I am confident, and I am my own best friend. Like, I freaking got this. Another point to this, I feel, is being able to reinvent yourself, taking the time to really sit down and look at your life and say, you know what, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm tired of this. I want to change this. I want to do that, and making those changes, and just deciding and doing it. You don't need to make a big spectacle about it. You don't need to post about it. You don't need to tell, 3 people, 4, 5 people about your new goals and your new plans and your new vision and your new look or whatever. Just reinventing yourself out of the blue. That's something that I love to do. And I think it also kind of goes back to, being kind of in your femininity and in your feminine energy and embracing that feminine essence is like just being okay with reinventing yourself and just kind of like always going with what you feel like you want to do next, spicing up your life, whether it's a new hairstyle or a change in your style or a new makeup look, or maybe you decorate, your house or your classroom in my case, or your car for a new season, or you decide to go on a spur of the moment trip, or, whatever the case may be, just being able to kind of do that in your life and have that spontaneity and just being able to kind of reinvent things and, change things up and not have the same old, spicing up your life. Like that's a really, really fun point to where I feel like as you're kind of getting into this, a zone of becoming your own best friend is just like making your life exciting and making your life fun, even if it's in the daily things that you do, whether it's changing up your coffee recipe. Maybe you always make the same coffee for yourself in the morning and you always have half and half and you always use the same sugar, but you're switching it up. You're using a fun coffee creamer flavor and you're changing up the coffee and you're eating a different breakfast every morning and you just make your life fun. You do theme nights or, you like I said, go on spur of the moment trips. The friends that you do have, hold them close. The family in your life, hold them close. Just relishing in those moments and just making new memories and being able to, include them. But also being able to do things on your own. It's not about alienating everybody else. Like, I'm my own best friend. I don't need anybody else. I'm just going to be me and that's it. But, if you have a partner, like, enjoying your moments with them, but just always having that underlying contentment, that underlying just satisfaction and contentment and confidence that, what, at the end of the day, I got me and I'm okay with who I am. I'm happy with who I am and I enjoy myself and I enjoy my own company. And even if there's nobody around, even though I love the people that are around me, thank you God for the people that are around me. Thank you God for the people that I love. But even if they're not there, I'm okay. Like, I don't need the attention. I don't need the applause. I love me. I know me. I know what I like. I can do what I like. Whatever I want, I can have it. And having that air and having that essence and that energy is just, it's just life-changing. So, hopefully this just gave you a breath of fresh air and just let you kind of get into the feels of what it is and what it means and what it feels like to be your own best friend. And just like the quote says, which I love, a woman who becomes her own best friend, life is easier. I guess technically for a woman who becomes her own best friend, life is easier. I probably mixed it up somewhere somehow, but you get the gist. I love you guys. I thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. And I hope that this video blessed you and I hope that it inspired you. And I hope that you take the initiative to, take a moment and really just have some time with yourself every day and truly kind of connect with yourself and be able to have that contentment and that confidence to become your own best friend. I really hope and pray that for you. Thank you guys and I'll see you in the next one. I love you so much. Bye.